Hi,
Good to see you.
SimoneRita.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. You?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a
Mm,
busy time of the year,
yeah.
but it's beautiful. We celebrated my daughter's birthday yesterday.
Oh, that's nice.
So it was yeah, she's 21. It's like
21. Wow. A
yeah.
young woman.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just so
Yeah.
amazing. This
Mm,
gives me
yeah.
so much hope in my
Mm,
heart, these
yeah.
future generations.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine is 20 in February, my oldest. And
Oh.
she still lives at home, and she's past the teenage years, and
Mhm.
the it's just the connection is just it's wonderful. I love her. I love
Yeah.
having her home
Mm.
still.
Mm.
It's shifted something. It was really fun when she was a teenager, but also really hard sometimes. And now she's just our relation is it's profound, and she's amazing. She's an amazing woman. She's so
Mm.
brave. So that's
Mm.
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter too, she always says, sometimes when I share from Women's Temple, and
Mm-hmm.
she says, I'm growing up in this. You don't have
Yeah.
to tell me. It's like,
No. Yeah.
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 Oh, we're going to talk a little bit about the Women's Temple training.
Yeah.
And, I think there's a waiting for you to coming back. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Ah, here you are, because I lost connection.
Oh.
So, Kristina,
Mm-hmm.
I just read, in March 2020, you went all the way to Portland from Christina's living in Denmark,
Yes.
our beloved Yogini sister in Denmark. So
Mm-hmm.
you went all the way to Portland um, to be part of the facilitator training there with Dominique. And so was this the first time you've been to an Awakening Woman temple?
Yes.
And what was the calling? Can you share a little bit from this
Yeah.
calling to, I mean, this is kind of a long travel
It
to,
is. Yeah, it is. I was facilitating my own group in Denmark, and I sort of had a missing link. Something was
oh,
missing, um, and I have joined other facilitators in Denmark, and I had this feeling that something was missing when I was facilitating this woman's circle. And then I heard a conversation with Dominique, and I can't remember who she was. It was online somewhere, and I wasn't even following Awakening Women at the time. And I started, crying,
mhm.
and I just felt this longing in my heart because the conversation was amazing. And then I started following Awakening Women, and yeah, I fell in love. And one thing led to the other. There was a training in Portland, and I had some time off from work, and I had some extra money coming in, and everything was just, and I thought I'm going to go with it. And if it's easy, I'll go. And it was so easy.
It was like perfectly
It was
orchestrated from her.
everything just in line. And then the Corona started. Uh, yeah, so there was a loophole. There was a tiny little hole for me to enter, and I came back just in time before the country closed down.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and the circle was. We were so dedicated and made a commitment to each other that we wanted to stay in circle, even though the whole world was basically on
Oh,
fire because of the corona. Yeah, so it was
mm.
really, and I'm so grateful and thankful, and it was an amazing experience, and I'll go again. I have sisters now from all over the world. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
we're still
remember that time.
connected. Mm.
I had at the same time I had a training in Germany, and the
Yeah,
world was closing down, and
yeah,
and I was also in touch with Dominique because we had the training at the same time.
Yeah.
And I also, what you shared about this calling and the longing in your heart, and how then everything just being orchestrated from her.
Yeah.
How would you describe, like when you enter this temple space, how would you describe this very first time in a woman's circle, like the way, you know, we facilitate with Awakening Women?
Well, it was a training, but also a personal experience in a way that I remember letting go of things, and I didn't know what it was I was letting go of. It was like autumn in my country. The leaves was just falling. I'm getting teary because it was really this profound feeling of just staying and being in the circle, and being able to let go of these layers and just feeling the heart open up more and more. So that was definitely one of the experience that I recall and still wouldn't know what to do without today. It's like a before and after somehow.
Oh, before, yeah, I feel the same. It just, you know, when I hear you talking, it just reminds me of my first time, and it was kind of, it's been like 12 years something ago, but it was kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
I saw Shamali talking online,
Yeah,
and then I
Shamali,
think,
yeah.
who is this woman? You know,
Yeah.
how comes I never met her?
Yeah.
And it was calling me on such a deep level.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
I was also checking, okay, where is she? And then 2 weeks later, she's supposed to be in Zurich. And
Yeah.
and you know, then
Post.
everything, and the rest is history. It's like
Yeah.
everything is just like,
Yeah.
okay, I need to be there. And I also remember when I entered there the first time, it was just crying. Like, you know, this big release within me. Oh, finally,
Yeah.
I have arrived. Yeah.
I remember reading something else that was this resistance. This I'm not gonna go because there's gonna be this touch. We're gonna have and that was also one of the main reasons that I went all the way to Portland, because we don't have that. I couldn't find it anywhere, and I just knew, you know, that bone deep in the bone feeling that I had to experience it on my own body, what it meant to be held in a woman's circle and this respectful touch, and it's it's just magic. It really is. Yeah. I'm really glad I went. Yeah. Yeah.
So what did you find? I mean, you said you went there to find, you know, you kind of you had been facilitating women's group by that time already,
Yeah.
and you were looking for like new inspirations or to have like a stronger base in your leadership.
Yeah.
So, like, what did you get any tools you could apply when you came home, or how did you implement all this experience? Because it's always like both, it's this deep experience on a personal journey, and at the same times, you know, and there is no I think it belongs together anyhow.
Yeah. Well, I've been thinking about that ever since we connected, and you asked me if I could join today, and there's two there. I have a whole book written down. I have my notes, and I use it in my circles. But there was a field kiss flow is for me the most amazing. If you can't even call it a tool, it's more than that, and I would never have understood it if I wouldn't have had the learning and the training together with the other women, and I use that on a daily basis in my on a daily practice in my private life and at work, and feel kiss flow. It's and I think it's one of the most important things we have to sort of carry with us at the moment, where the world is on fire and everything is just it gives me this feeling of everything is gonna be fine. we're going to be fine. And I think that was Field Kiss Flow is definitely something I think whoever Shamli must have found from some source. Yeah, the goddess. Yeah, and yeah, so that's and also the touch. We had to do a practice where we the women who was sort of around me, I had to tell them where I would like them to touch me on this respectful way, and that was so difficult. And I carry that with me today. If I'm at work and I have to go pee, I think before I would. I mean, I just it just gives me this. It's sort of a power to say yes and no, and really, yeah. If that makes any sense. It gives a power to really feel what comes up and what you have to speak up.
Yeah, like also what you shared about the Field Kiss Flow, it's about this beautiful body temple we inhabit, and it's about learning, you know, this is our instrument, and also learning to also welcoming, you know, like all the feelings, and learning to give space, and learning to feel to let it flow through us, and also to and especially with touch, respectful touch, and this also this combination, of course, with the Field Kiss Flow and the respectful touch, to regain the power within ourselves, you know, to be very clear of what we need, what we like, to set boundaries, and to learn to speak up for ourselves. Yeah. I also feel very much, you know, I think it's also my or our generation. It's, you know, I am very, very good in like mothering others, but I'm not so good in mothering myself.
Yeah. I know.
And this is and this is one of the first things I had to learn also in my leadership, you know. If this is also my responsibility, I have to really take care of myself if I want to take this seat as a leader, to be receptive and present. And, so now we know. Now we have the tools.
Now we know. Yeah. It's also trust, really. I'm practicing. I had to give a speech the other night, and I could go both ways. I could go down the road where I had to practice and be nervous, and you know, and I did the other road. I trusted and sort of listened to the echo in the space with the people around me, and whatever came up that night, which is also something I think I definitely learned from being in the circle in Portland with the awakening women, the trust, which is really a practice always.
And also what you shared at the beginning, that you still in, you know, you now you have sisters, you have to go there, or it's the support from the circle.
And it's what, 2 years ago, and the connection is, it's just there because we spent that time together. And it's really energy I can sort of just go and get. Even though,
Was there anything, I wonder, is there anything, you know, when you went over there, actually without knowing, but you know, but you asked for something, is there anything that surprised you, like really unexpected, like treasures you discovered in the training?
I remember that I thought I had everything sorted out with the sister wound, you know, not being judging, and I remember entering the room and I was so judgeful and Americans and I was from Europe and I don't know, somehow in a very profound and beautiful and just this it was calling the bullshit somehow. I just, all the layers just dropped and the love and the heart just opened and that was really a very good learning experience for me.
Yeah, this sisterhood manifesto.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's just everyone should have that.
Yeah.
The world would be a better place.
Yeah, that's very, very powerful. Even like for the temple group we have here in Zurich, like we read it every time.
Every time.
Yeah. And it just it's so powerful and there's another layer to discover over and over again.
Yeah, it's good.
And
it really is.
And it's so powerful, this manifesto, for the culture we can create together.
And also, I don't know, it was just I don't know, I've never I didn't realize before the end of the week that how, I mean, even maybe months after, the learning still kept dropping. And still do, they but it was I'm really, really glad I listened to the calling and the knowledge and
That's very beautiful what you share, because this one thing is, to go there and to have this incredible experience in the group when you practice together, but then when you go back home and then you are by yourself, of course you're in touch with them, but you're by yourself, and what you experience, that it's like nectar of her dropping into
the honey,
like the honey arriving arriving in your body, in your cells, in your bones.
There's also there was this experience where we did the meditation where we opened our heart and the experience of how much space the heart has is something I use every day when I'm in the traffic, at work, with my husband, my children. The alchemy from the heart was also something I keep training and practicing and teach others when I have the circles, because I think that is also really, 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 I don't know, I just, when I gave the speech just the other night, I my sort of first words was we are building a better world now. And what do I want to bring into this world? And someone has to do it. It's like we really need to rise and do the work, even though it's winter and it's cold and I'd rather stay at home with my knitting.
And it's so beautiful what you share. Also this this heart meditation, this alchemy of the heart, this is something which is on in me all the time, or which I practice all the time, which makes it able for me to be present in the world with no matter what.
No matter what, showing up.
And I also believe, I also believe that everything matters. Everything, every moment, every breath with everything matters. If we want to change in the world, sometimes we get lost like in the big things we want to accomplish. But why don't we just start with the next step? And
the next step. The breadcrumb trail.
So if you would recommend this training to a friend, what would you say? It's sometimes difficult to actually talk about this experience, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is, because it's so much bigger than all of us somehow. But I would definitely I don't know, listen to your heart. What does your bones tell you? And if it's a yes, then go. Just go. Really do it.
Mm.
And if it's not for the world, then for yourself. Because if you do it for yourself, you will also automatically be doing it for the world.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah. So
Mm.
yeah, definitely. It's wisdom from the source. And I've been looking for wisdom from the source. And there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that it's wisdom from the source. Because there's a lot out there.
Mm.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah.
I think we're going to close this conversation with this
Yeah.
statement. It's so
Yeah.
beautiful. It's
Good.
wisdom from the source.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, and I feel so honored to be hips to hips in this circle with you.
Hips to hips.
And I hope because we used to plan a Denmark training. I hope someday it will be.
It will.
It
I
will
hope so
happening,
too.
or
I hope so
we
too.
will meet. Yeah,
I hope so
yeah,
too. Very
yeah,
much, Simone.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Kristina,
Thank you.
from sharing from your heart and your experience.
Sure. Anytime.
It's so deep resonating within me,
Yeah.
listening to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.